Hi, I'm NINA Sabnani. I'm an academic. I have been involved in teaching animation, illustration, visual ethnography, research methods. I started my career with NID. I was there from, I started teaching. I went there in 1980, but teaching from 85 to 2006. After which I went to IDC, IIT Bombay, and I retired from there in 2021. And here I am as a adjunct professor, as you know, associated with several institutions, and UPS being one of them. I must say that students are students everywhere, and those who are, you know, excited, they do very well with very little and very innovative. So I've enjoyed working with those who did come to class. And we had some very exciting conversations. They even came to see me off in the guest house on the day I was leaving. So we had nice conversations about the future of animation and, you know, their location in the profession. It was quite interesting. You know, we do have an animation industry in the country. I don't know how robust, but you know, we do have one. And people are aware of animation. There are many avenues for animation, not just entertainment. There's e-learning, you know, there is visual effects, there's gaming. So there is a lot of opportunities for animators these days. Even, you know, people involved in AI, VR, you know, people involved in, what shall we say, interaction design. There's a lot of, you know, on mobile phone there. Animation has become ubiquitous and almost invisible because it's so prevalent everywhere. It is communicating things which are invisible. It's making the inaccessible accessible. You know, so one needs to see animation in that light, and then see where our interests take us. You know, if we are scientific in our approach, we like science, and we can bring science and animation together. There are many avenues. So I think if students come with that mind that, you know, they could be going in several directions, then I think there is a lot going for them. And but if they come with the idea of just all of them becoming, you know, filmmakers, then they have to be more entrepreneurial, and you know, they might have to do other jobs in order to do what, you know, like if I want to make films, and I'm making short films. So for me, the only way of doing it is to have another job, which is I'm teaching. So by teaching, I am giving myself the time and the opportunity to make my films. But if I wanted to, you know, be in the industry, nobody's going to give you money and say, here, go make a film. All over the world, it is so. You know, people do day jobs, they do other things, because it's more like a craft, you know, making a short animation film. Feature films is something else, you know, but we have seen in our country the reception to animation features is very sparse. I mean, you know, even the best of animated films, you know, features, do not get that kind of reception like, say, a Bollywood film blockbuster gets, you know. So let's face it, we don't have a Pathan kind of animation yet, you know. So it can demoralize a young person thinking, oh, I had this dream of doing this. But you know, I mean, there are people like you see Upamanyu Chatterjee, he's doing against all odds, you know, he made this film Ved, and then they've got funds to do, you know. So there are people, you know, who can, but I'm saying they'll have to be more entrepreneurial. See, I think we thought that computers will take over jobs. We thought, you know, Plato thought that the pen would take over mind, you know, and memory, and you know, you're outsourcing memory right from writing. So, but you know, we have survived everything. So I think just the way we have learned to, you know, creatively work with the computer, I'm sure we'll find ways of creatively working with AI. You know, I don't feel very threatened by all these things. It's like we used to do in-betweening. Now in-betweening is done by the computer. I'm not missing it. I'm not missing the in-betweening because I am getting more time to refine my story, to think about the materials I will use, you know, with which to tell my story, whether it's cloth or it's wood or it's sand or whatever. I have more time to reflect on that rather than worry about, painstakingly doing. So it's reducing some labor, because I feel it's ultimately a human, created phenomena, and it's something that you cannot turn a blind eye and say, oh, it'll go away. It's not going to go away. It's going to be there. So I think the smart thing is to think about how can you work together and what can you do together, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Midjourney, and there are loads of those kind of, apps where you given the keywords and it creates an image for you. So fine, let it do that. I mean, what will you do with it? Stories, it cannot tell. I mean, I've tried one of these smart apps, to tell a story. They wrote the most boring story. So it's really there where you would excel, as a filmmaker, as a graphic, any creative person, It's what you do with it.